We are back in the shop with the old second gen. So we're working on the first gen. We are also gearing up to start working on the second gen again and doing the old axle swap because that ball joint not looking too good. But the last time we did an oil change was a long time ago. I did an oil change on this truck right here before I even had this one started. And we are gonna be using the old tried and true Shell Rotella T5 synthetic blend. So the reason why I'm using a synthetic blend instead of conventional or full synthetic, because since this is an older vehicle, a lot of the seals are all probably worn out. I didn't want to go full synthetic. In full synthetic, the molecules are a lot smaller inside the oil, so if you have an older truck, you could start getting oil leaks if you start using full synthetic. So I'm going with a synthetic blend. Best of both worlds. You get synthetic and your regular conventional diesel oil mixed. So that's going to go perfect for this 2001. But if you guys have newer trucks like this Ram 5500 right here, we'll throw Shell Rotella T6 in that all day long, full synthetic, and that thing will run like a top. So we have 2.5 gallons right here. The Cummins takes 12 quarts, which is 2.5 gallons right there. That's 10 quarts. And then we have an extra gallon right here. We'll probably put half of that since 4 quarts are in a gallon. But Shell Rotella, let's get it started. As mentioned before, I'm using Shell Rotella T5. Not only does Shell offer a synthetic blend, they also offer their T4 conventional oil and their T6 full synthetic. Shell Rotella T5 and T6 are their flagship oils, so they're definitely going to be your best bet when looking for oil for your trucks. A little bit about this T5 oil that I'm using right here by Shell Rotella. They have this oil down to a science, so it has excellent wear protection, especially with an old truck like this, 21 years old. I'm definitely going to need the best wear protective oil on the market, and that's why I'm going with Shell. If you want to learn more about Shell Rotella and what their oils have to offer, click the link down below or head to your local retailer and pick yourself up some T5 or T6 oil for your next oil change. Make sure your truck runs on Rotella. Thank you to Shell Rotella for sponsoring today's video. What is going on, everybody? Dippin Diesel back. Welcome to another video. We are working on, of course, the dang 12 valve, baby. We got a knee starter in there over the weekend. Took off all the injectors, cleaned them, and put them all back in. I dropped some MMO inside the cylinders, and then this thing still won't start. I got a different fuel pump, still won't start. We have a VE pump ordered, so hopefully we can get that started with the VE pump. I think it is the pump. That I just don't see any other possibility of what it could be if it's not that injection pump. So we got one ordered. But in the last video I showed you I made a switch panel. I ended up making a new one. So here is the old one. I bent it the wrong way, so I made a new one. And I punched a big hole in there for a push to start, and then I kind of misaligned the the holes, but it's all right. I made it myself. It looks good. It'll look better once it's powder coated and switches are in there. So that is awesome. We're gonna take off this front timing cover and do this little thing, the killer dowel pin, so we can get rid of that possibility of that dowel pin coming out and grenading the front side of this motor. We'll just have to take off this pulley, the crankshaft harmonic balancer, and then remove all the bolts for the timing cover, and it should be pretty simple. Whole front of the truck is already taken off, so it ain't hard to get to. We probably will make the cover for this. Let's get to it. Just for giggles, I'm just gonna go ahead and try and start it. Battery's been charging for like 2 days now, so we got a hot battery, a hot starter too. Here we go. Little trick, you can't get these loose. Grab the starter, boom, broken loose, broken loose, broken loose. All of them are broken loose now. There it is. So we got the oil pump right here, crankshaft, camshaft. Oh, what is that? That's the power steering pump. And then you have the injection pump right there. And then right in here, we're gonna take this bolt out. There's that killer dowel pin. And then we're just gonna put this over that, torque it down, and then this will keep that dowel pin from moving out. All this does is screw in right here, right over that dowel pin. That's all there is to it. Killer dowel pin. I would say while I'm in here right now to pull this pump off, but I don't have my gear puller. It's in my second gen, so I can't pull this gear off of here, off the pump. I have a gear puller that will thread into there and pop that gear off. But it kind of looks like this gear's been rubbing on those right there. Hopefully it's not. It looks like it's rubbing on the back of the timing cover too. But other than that, all the other gears, oil pump gear looks good, crankshaft gear looks good, camshaft gear looks good, power steering gear looks good, and other than the rubbing that this gear is doing, it looks all good. All right, boys, we are cutting back comb for a second so I can show you the block off plate that I made. There is the block off plate made out of aluminum. I have it bolted in, or just finger tight, not even finger tight, just in there with a couple bolts just to see how it fits up. This hole lines up. This hole kind of lines up, not really. And then I knew this as soon as I punched it on the iron worker that was not going to line up, so we'll have to punch another hole. Not a big deal. It's just really, you know, a block off plate. But other than that, it looks pretty good. I think it's going to work for what it needs to work. I'm going to put some weather stripping on the back side of it once it's powder coated, and that way no water can get through. It'll make a good seal. So we'll take that off, and then we'll head back to the shop. All right, we are back here at ARIAT Coatings and Fab. I have that AC block off plate delete cover thing. I'm gonna just punch a little tiny hole, or the same size hole, but just a little bit farther down to correct for that hole that's not lining up. And I can't remember, I was just at the house, I can't remember where this one wasn't lining up. I think it was too low. So I just don't want to mess this up I already messed it up right here, but I don't want to mess it up anymore. So we'll run with it if I need to drill something out, I'll drill something out. But an update on this truck right here, I'll show you guys a little bit of footage of what I've been doing with this 14, I think it's a 14 Ram 3500. So as you guys saw, we took everything out, the camshaft, the crankshaft, literally everything out. We pressure washed it. Didn't show you guys that. I cleaned it up and then I painted it, and I'm starting to get everything put back together. The crankshaft was in a little bit worse shape than we thought. We thought we were just gonna be able to swap the rings and the bearings, but this truck has some other plans. So here is one of the bearings. Another one. So pretty much all the bearings, this one was 8 up. So pretty much all the bearings look like that. And it was eating into the crankshaft, so we had to send that off to get polished. So we're waiting on that. It's been over a week now, and we still haven't gotten it back. And the reason why we're trying to rush with this thing, well, not rush, but when we get done with this, it's going to be pretty much a new motor, at least new internals, except for rods and pistons. Really going to change out all the bearings. But the reason why we're trying to get this thing done right here is because we're going to be taking this on a road trip. Fresh rebuilt motor, we're taking it on a road trip up to New York. So it's my first time gonna be in New York. It should be pretty fun. Let me know in the comments below if you guys live in New York. We're gonna be around kind of the, I don't know exactly where it's at, but I know it's a little bit above Manhattan, and I know we're probably gonna be going to New York City. So if you guys live in New York and you guys want to come hang out, leave in the comments below or hit me up on Instagram. Maybe we'll have a little meetup or something, I don't know. But yeah, we're trying to get this motor put back together, put back into the truck. We have a new transmission or new used transmission and a new used transfer case that we're gonna throw in this thing as well. Because you guys remember, if you saw that video, transmission was cracked all the way around and the transfer case was literally exploded. So yeah, I don't know why I'm walking out here. I was gonna show you guys the parts that I powder coated. So these are the parts off of the first gen. So I have a little bit to go, but front timing cover is almost done. I got the back all sandblasted. Did that yesterday. Valve covers are ready to go. They're really corroded, so we're gonna need some powder. The hood stack is sandblasted. Thermostat housing, sandblasted. Still need to do this part of the water pump system. This actually holds like the AC on, which I'm not using AC, so still gonna sandblast it all. So I did take out the AC, hence the block off plate. So one of these lines goes to the AC, and one of these lines goes to the heat exchanger, which I deleted the heat exchanger. So we're probably just gonna go ahead and spin this off and then go get an NPT plug and plug that hole. And then also on the motor, there's another spot that I need to put a plug because I'm not using the heat exchanger or the AC, so we need to plug that off. But I need to get this sandblasted today, the front timing cover sandblasted the rest of the way, and then we can get those parts powder coated by Caitlin. She always does a good job. And yeah, that's my goal for today. She probably won't powder coat them today because she's swamped with a bunch of people's side-by-side stuff. So yeah, just a lot of stuff. I got a project going, not really a project, but like the guy wants to sell this Polaris Ranger. Man, I cleaned this thing up so good. It looks bad right now because there's a bunch of powder all over it. Gotta wash it again. I have to purple power degrease and get the mold off these seats. But man, these plastics were all faded. This thing looked absolutely disgusting. So much mud on this thing. I took a torch to the plastic, so it brought them back to black. We have to put some new tires on this thing, and I put a new gas cap. I have to change the oil, the spark plug, and then probably like the differential oils and all the oils on this thing. I've already greased all of the suspension components, but the reason why I'm doing this is because the guy that wants to sell it, he wants $5,000 out of it. So I told him, hey, I'll take it, clean it up, do all the maintenance on it, make it ready to go, and then I will sell it, and I'll keep anything over $5,000, which in the market today, these things are going for about $7,000 on Facebook Marketplace. So if I can make $2,000 on just cleaning this thing up, changing some oils, getting this thing ready to go, and make 2,000 bucks, I'm all for it, baby. But yeah, there it is. That is one project that I've been working on. I'm gonna try to get those tires this week. Chase said he has 4, and I told him that whatever money he puts into this, I'll double it. So say he puts in 200 bucks to that project, I'll give him 200 bucks. Well, not double his money, but he'll get 100% return on it. So he'll put in 200, and I'll give him another 200 plus his 200 back. You guys get what I'm saying. So he puts in 200, he'll get 400 out of it. So that's one side-by-side. We got another side-by-side in here. This one is getting a new motor. So this is their Polaris diesel. If you buy this from Polaris, since this was like, I'm not too sure of the whole thing, but I think Polaris did like a deal with the military where they made crew cab diesel side-by-sides. So it's really hard to get. It's not hard to get, but you can get the motor from Polaris, but they want like $12,000 for this motor right here. And they found this motor on military surplus. Will fit right in for you know, 3,500 bucks. So the customer is going to get a brand new diesel motor in his side-by-side. So that's pretty cool. We need to get a clutch pulling tool to pull that out so we can actually pull the motor out. But yeah, that's awesome, man. 3,500 bucks for that little thing right there. That is crazy for a side-by-side, man. But enough talking. Let's go ahead, finish sandblasting those parts, and we'll get back to the video. All right, I pretty much have all of the parts sandblasted. So like before, AC delete cover. I probably am gonna take this and clean up the edges real quick before it gets powder coated, but delete, timing cover, valve cover. I went ahead and ground down all the casting marks on the valve cover so it looks a little bit better. Same thing with the water pump stuff and thermostat housing. I ground down all the casting marks, at least like the lines on it where it was pressed together, you know. And yeah, and the hood stack. So let's go show you what kind of color I'm thinking about for this first gen. So here is all of the powders that they have in stock here at Iron 8 Coatings and Fab. So I got to keep in mind, I need a color that's going to contrast with the wrap that I'm going to do. Haven't released that yet, but you guys will hear shortly soon. In the next coming videos, you guys will know what color wrap I'm doing. Both the first gen and the second gen, the same color. So I have to pick a color that's going to go with the wrap that I'm thinking about getting. So I think the best color that's gonna go with the wrap, so you guys know on the second gen, we did Illusion Violet. I keep saying Illusion Purple, but it's actually the color is Illusion Violet. So we used Illusion Violet for the second gen. The first gen, my favorite color is red, so I gotta go with some sort of red. So we have all the purples right here. Illusion Cherry, that could be one right there. That's a really sick color. Anodized candy red. That is also another sick color. I'll show previews on the screen of what these look like. So illusion cherry, anodized candy red. What else do we got in here? Not sure what that is, doesn't have a label. Red candy chrome, candy red, illusion red. I probably won't go with illusion red because I kind of want like a, not some flare, because illusion red is kind of a little basic. Not sure what this is, but it's another red. So I kind of want to go with either the illusion cherry or the anodized candy red is what I'm thinking I want to go with. So let me know in the comments below. Those are the two choices. Put them right here on the screen. Number 1, illusion cherry. Number 2, anodized candy red. Leave it in the comments below and get your votes in. But that's gonna be it for the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos on this 1990 non-intercooled 12 valve. In the next video, I'm gonna drive down to Pensacola, pick up a new injection pump for this baby so we can actually get this thing started. Let me know the color you think I should do for this truck, because we gotta get that stuff back on before we start the motor. So leave your comments down below, 1 or 2. And also, be sure to check out Shell Rotella T5 and T6 motor oil for your trucks. Link in the description below if you guys want to check out more, or head to your local retailers and pick yourself up some oil. But that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Dippin' Diesel.